Hey guys, my name is Jane, and today I'm here with our third episode of the podcast of Being a Sister. Terrible days. We all have them. A very bad news on the phone, being rejected, wanting to drop out of school, having a fight with your parents, world problems, country-specific problems, being broke, the fear of failure, the fear of success, having a shock, trauma, a breakup. No matter what it was for this specific day, your life might be feeling like at least 100 times heavier than it normally does. And I get that because it's normal. Is today a terrible day for you? I mean, I hope not, but if it is, as a sister, I'd like to guide you through the day. All you have to do is just sit back and listen. I got you. Well, I don't know what makes today or yesterday a terrible day for you, but I'm sure you have your reasons. And you might be thinking, what can she possibly say to me that would make this day even 1% better? Well, you might be surprised, because I'm having a terrible day too, so you are not alone. Well, even if not right now, when I was writing this, I was having a terrible day too, so you are not alone. It doesn't matter why I wasn't feeling that well then either. It's not that I don't want to share it with you, it's just that it doesn't matter. Do you know why? Because feeling terrible is a feeling, and many different things can lead to it. You might be like, what? How can you compare my feeling bad right now with my feeling bad 2 years ago? Well, here's how I can do that. First of all, if somebody or an animal close to you died, I am very sorry about it. In these cases, we can do absolutely nothing to just bring them back. I will have another episode later on discussing how to deal with grief, but for now, all I want to tell you is to focus on the fact that you can't do anything about it. Hey, stick with me here. I know it sounds awful, but when you reverse how you think about it, if you can't do anything about it, being sad will not make any changes either. But death is a more complicated issue, and as I said, I will talk a lot more in detail about that issue in a later episode. I mean, I've had plenty of grief, so... Now let's go back to the problems that are different things. Now, if the reason you're feeling awful right now is not about the death of someone or any living thing, it might still be a number of things, ranging from a mental illness to being rejected to, well, your hormones. The second thing I want to tell you is about a certain bad vibe. Okay, look, some days we get rejected, whether it is from who you thought was the love of your life, and by the way, stay tuned because I will make another episode about all these sorts of issues later on. Okay, anyway. Or from your dream school, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we feel like someone we love is slipping from our fingers and we feel awful. Some days you can just feel the bad thing about to happen and it feels awful. Trust me, I have been there. I know how awful it is. In this type of situation, there usually is only one thing to do, and that is to wait till that feeling passes. Cry it out because, trust me, you have to get that awful feeling out of your system somehow. That much anxiety isn't good. And don't worry, there's nothing wrong with you if someone is ghosting you or letting go of you or whatever. These anxiety feelings, funnily enough, are normal and happen to everyone you know. But you know what? It also passes every single time. Those moments where you feel like everything is on top of you, it feels hopeless. We have all been there. But honey, I will give you such stupid advice that you will hate me for it. But if you do what I say, I'm telling you, 100% you will feel better. Don't come to me and be like, I did what you said, but it didn't pass. That's because you're still stuck in that anxiety state where you need those feelings to be gone at that very second. As I just told you, it will not be gone that fast. You have to wait for it to pass. The faster you let go of the expectation that it has to pass right now, and you have to be happy right away, the happier you will be. Trust me on this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that you let go of the expectation that you have to be okay right now. It still feels as awful, maybe, but at least now you don't feel the need to be perfect every second. Honey, no one is happy all the time. We are exposed to so much by social media that our brains get addicted to dopamine. Dopamine, or whatever the actual thing is. My boyfriend actually made a video about this problem. I mean, he's still making it. He said something about how our brains like the opposition of falling and flying. Just like in addiction, social media makes our brains crave happiness 24/7. This is insanely stupid because some of the most influential things happen when people go through hard times. Are you seriously telling me you've never watched a motivational movie? More than half of the movies are usually about how terrible the successful person's life was like. My friend, bad times are at least as necessary as the good times. And let me tell you why this is. Look at nature. We love it, right? Who doesn't love swimming in the sea in the summer? But who likes to be stuck in the island with a bear at night? Who likes to experience a natural disaster? What I'm trying to say with this point is that nature is equally wonderful and scary. So are our lives. Let me be very honest with you for a second now. Everyone has fears. For example, as I'm writing these words for this episode's podcast, I also have the fear that no one will ever listen, or that I won't be helping people, or I won't be influential or something in any way. Or worse, that I might not get to make a living out of YouTube, which is my dream. Yes, let me be very real with you. It is very scary, especially because I'm doing my very own thing, not caring about the algorithm, only caring about the type of value I want to be able to create and share with the wonderful people on these social platforms. Because no matter how much content there is and how famous other people already are, there still is and always will be a part of me that believes what I'm doing isn't for nothing. This is because every now and then I read a wonderful comment from you guys. You might not realize it, but it makes me so happy, and it literally gives me this fuel to get straight back to work and produce something new. Because I still believe in good. But what was that all about? Why did I get so personal there? Because I want you to know that I, as a content creator of some sort, am doing this podcast and all my other videos, even though I have all these fears. There are days where I feel like I could rule the world, not literally, lol, and others where I feel like I should give up or something, you know? But the thing is, I don't. And you know why? Because I am very good at being grateful for any good comment and any good memory that comes my way. I've heard so many people talk about this, and you might be sick and bored of it, but please don't stop listening just because I said this, because I had a special reason for saying that. But before we get to that, I want to talk about something else. Now that we talked a lot about how we are feeling, I want to kind of tell you how to just straight up get rid of those bad feelings. There's a website called You Feel Like Shit. My housemate, who is also one of my bestest friends, whether she knows it or not, told me about it back when we first started living together. Those were the times when I still thought, for some reason, that I was the only being on the planet that could feel as bad as the way I was feeling. However, when we started living together, I don't want to talk about our private things, but I started to realize that it was okay to feel sad. She made me feel like I was a totally normal human being, and I am forever grateful for that. I felt the importance of my mental health thanks to her. Anyway, she told me about the website and I went on it. At this point of the podcast, I will just be recommending you to go and visit the website immediately if you need help or if you're just feeling bad in any way. You can also call the hotlines for suicide prevention and so on. Don't be scared. I mean, these things are there for a reason. If you ever feel like you should be getting help, but you're just scared because you think that other people might need it more than you, don't. Like, this is literally a sign for you to get the help that you deserve. Why would you not deserve help? I mean, okay, we will talk about that some other time. I just got a little bit mad for some reason. But don't be scared. You can also write to me if you need anything, or call your therapist or get a therapist. Seriously, it's totally normal. I mean, I went back to therapy as well because I wanted help, you know? It's not bad to admit that you want help. Okay, anyway. Seriously, it's totally normal, okay? The website asks you simple questions like, did you drink any water today? Did you eat any food today? And even though you might be thinking, what does water have to do with my extremely upsetting breakup? Yeah, I got you. I know it sounds extremely weird and strange, but trust me. As you have so far through this podcast, and thank you for that, I want you to understand something now. I don't know how old you are, But if you are really younger than me, I think there may be a chance that you have not really realized how much your biological state plays a role in your mental health yet. I think, although I'm not a scientist or anything, only from observing my own friends, males tend to have a more natural tendency to realize why they are feeling bad, whereas women can sometimes struggle with it. But please don't take this seriously, like it's just an observation I made. Please don't think I'm being sexist or whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's just an observation, as I said. Please don't take this the wrong way. For example, sometimes I get sad because I had actually forgotten to eat something or didn't drink enough water, but I keep believing it's for other reasons, so it doesn't get better then. Look, oh my god. Life is not always this simple. Drinking water might not always fix your problems, I'll give you that. But let me tell you something that will change your mind directly. Not drinking water and not eating properly and not doing all those sorts of things that the website tells you about will definitely make it so much harder to get better. What I'm telling you is not that you'll be better the second you drink water, but drinking water and eating properly and being healthy in general will at least give you a chance to be better. So decide if you really do want to get better. I'm sorry for being so real about this, but most of the time it is within you. I'm here for you though, and don't worry if you just don't feel like you even want to drink water. It's okay. But some days, all you have to do is push yourself to drink some more water. I'm not saying push yourself to do your homework or your laundry. I'm just saying push yourself to drink a little bit of water. The reason is that if you give your body what it needs, you will start loving your body a little bit more. And little by little, you will start loving yourself, and no, loving yourself in a humble way is a real and needed thing. When you really love yourself, you will start to take care of yourself how you would of a friend or your child. Look, honey, maybe just start by realizing that you are the child or friend of someone else who would have treated you exactly the way you should be treating yourself. And to be honest, if you never start treating yourself and talking to yourself better, it will keep being as hard as it is. So, for today, all I want you to do is, and don't listen to me if you don't want to, but I'm just here to help, drink some water, eat some food, and rest. Take your vitamins and medicine if you haven't already, if you're taking them. And that, my friends, is all we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And although not on the next one, we will soon be talking about similar things, such as how to deal with trauma right after it happens and sometime after it happens, and just all sorts of things like that. I have so many topics to discuss on this podcast, so please stay tuned. Also, if you have any comments or just questions or just any way that you think I could do this better, please just feel free to let me know. It means a lot. See you on our next episode. Bye!